the goat in India, distributed and well adapted to different types of extreme climatic conditions. It is an efficient production system with respect to environment constants and other inputs. Small ruminants have higher survival rates under the drought conditions as compared to large ruminants. These are some important points which we can want to highlight, that short reproductive cycles, short kitting intervals, and high incidence of the multiple birth. There is a potential for a higher annual offtake. Moreover, there's a comparatively low susceptibility to diseases and can be raised with the locally available feed and fodder resources or under intensive, semi-intensive, and grazing-based production system. And these animals can be easily handled by the women and the aged person of the family. So we are always talking about that employment generation and other points. Because of that small size with clean habits, short stature, this animals is getting popularity. You can say the popularity or getting importance among all the species of the livestock in our country. Goat has a great potential to improve the farm family income with low investment. Goat sector, we can see that the growth trends, the livestock rearing provides the principal sources of income. It's about 3.7% of the agriculture household of the country. According to Food and Agriculture Organization, India supports 16.1% of the world goat population and 6.4% to its sheep population. Goat is second largest livestock species, constitutes around 28% of total livestock population. Population of the goats in our country has increased from 135 million to 149 million, almost 10% increase over 2012. Between 2007 and 2012, there was a reduction in the goat population by 5 million. 50 lakh animals were reduced. I think that with the support of all the people and the farmer support and the support from the government side, the goat population has again improved and it increased from 135 to 149 million. Country ranked first in goat milk production and second the goat meat production. The goat sector contributes in value term. It contributes around 40,000 crores. It is around 9.5% to the total value output from the livestock sector. This is at current prices. Sector contributes 5.63 million tons of milk, which is 3% of the total milk production of the country, 1.08 million tons of the goat meat, contributing around 13.4% to the total meat production, and 0.18 million tons of the skin to the central pool. A huge domestic market with a strong demand for fresh meat and milk, most preferred and costliest meat priced 450 to 500 rupees per kg. Country's largest exporter of the sheep and goat meat, 18.42 thousand metric ton, valued rupees 800 crores, and the preferred destination is Middle East. Goat sector is actually a smallholder goat value chain. 33 million farmers, custodian of more than 75% of goats. Really important for the employment generation also. Significant contribution to the household income, contributing around 15 to 35% of, particularly in ecologically vulnerable and drought-prone areas, major contributor to the farm family income. Productivity gap is there, 50 to 150%, mainly due to the shrinking pastures, lack of supplementary feeding, and low adoption of the technologies, inadequate support services, which is particularly the veterinary services and the credit facilities. Smallholder goat production can generate efficiency gain. I want to just highlight the efficiency gain from the low cost locally feeding option. It's a very gigantic machine, or we can say the very wonderful machine which is converting crop residues or the tree leaves into high value commodities like milk and meat. So goat rearing considered to be an important contributor to doubling farmers' income and poverty alleviation program, and the commercialization of goat farms on the rise. Drawing interest of the rural youth in goat farming with the establishment of the increasing number of goat farms in the country, and enabling policy environment in favor of small ruminants and developed partners and stakeholders is very important. And many countries, you see that the smallholder livestock production is a holder dominated production. In India, the percent of production by the smallholder livestock farmers, the beef, they're producing 75%, chicken meat 92%, more than 90% chicken meat and sheep meat, and they are producing around 70% of the milk and the egg 71%. So that India's livestock production is a smallholder dominated production. between the 2002 and 3 and 2012-13, there is a marginal shift, there's a marginal change, improvement in the flock size. If you see at the country level, it is still very, very small, 3.28. It has increased from 2.23 to 12-13 to 3.47. According to land holding sizes, you can see that the large land class shown a little improvement. It increased from 5.5 to 8.66, means that the people who are having a large area of land, they are also interested in the goat farming. If we see that the management system, more than 76% or 80% goats are still under the extensive management system. It is the grazing based. There are three type of production system in our country: extensive management system, semi-intensive management system, and the intensive management system, which is also called stall fed. So the semi-intensive management system, this is the grazing, 4-5 hours grazing plus concentrate supplementation. Next, extensive management system is completely grazing based. And intensive management system, we can see that urban and peri-urban areas, many people are keeping the meat goat under this production system. Through this slide, we can have a look of this bird's production and diseconomies of scale due to that small flock sizes. Management system is gradually shifting from extensive to semi-intensive and intensive management system. And the last table is showing that the poor man's cow providing a livelihood support to millions of the marginal and small farmers. So this is the goat is playing an important role. Sustainability of the livestock production depends on the four domains: the food and nutritional security, which is we can see that the population is increasing, and there is a huge question before us, that big question before us, that how can we feed this increasing population, and what is the nutrition security? Nutrition security is not only that food, but it is a nutritious food should be available to the increasing population. Livelihood and economic growth, which are very much associated with that food and nutrition security, and the economic growth is also very, very important to increase the demand for the high value commodities. Animal health and welfare issues are very, very important. There's a huge mortality among the kids and the adult animals, especially in sheep and goat, and these are the making a very huge loss to the, not only to the farmers, poor farmers, but also the national losses. Climate and natural resource use and management. Natural resource use, sustainable reuse of the natural resources is very, very important. And the way of the use of these resources in such a way so that we can use, and we can also leave it for that our coming generation also use these resources. The key constants in our goat sector, we see that the low genetic potential, scarcity of quality buck centers. This is a very important constant. We at CIRG organizing training programs, and after completion of the training program, farmers always ask that, sir, from where we have to purchase goats for the production, for keeping them and take the production for the next 5 years. So good quality goats are not available. Quality bucks are also not available. The people are using the bucks, what we call it, the village buck. Single buck is there, and it's providing the service to all the goats in that village and the nearby villages. So there is a problem of inbreeding, and other problems are taking place. The second important constant is scarcity of feed and fodder and high prices of the feed ingredients. On one hand, that permanent pastures and grazing lands are shrinking, and the feed ingredients are very costly, and the prices of these ingredients are increasing every year. If you calculate that economics of goat production or sheep production in some semi-intensive or intensive management system, then you will find that more than 60 to 65% cost is coming constituted by the feed fodder cost. So this is a constant, and this is actually, it is a very important challenge to before all of us, to how to make goatry or some the sheep production more economically viable by reducing the cost and getting the more benefit. So and the other is the incidence of diseases. The risk factor is always associated with their inadequate veterinary infrastructure and access. Many farmers reported that we are not getting veterinary services in time, especially for the small ruminants. So there's a constant, and we have to have a look on that. Knowledge gap is very important, and it's also responsible for that not getting a proper income from the goat farming, because of some of the places people are not aware about that the vaccination, not aware about that what kind of housing is required, how much space is required for the animals, for adults and kids. So there is a overcrowding in that their shed, and so many information, there is a gap, and we there is a need to bridge these gap by the good practices. Lack of credit support. Farmers are interested to start a good business, but initial stage they have to have a good amount of money, but due to lack of credit support, they are roaming around, they are going to the banks and other places, but not getting a proper support from the financial institutions. Lack of processing infrastructure, no doubt it is a very important constant, and really value addition is important, but lack of the infrastructure, they are lagging behind. Poor market linkages. Large, we start from the production to ultimate consumer, there is a large number of actors who are playing along the value chain, and there's a need to link these farmers with the market, with the good market, not only market but a good market, so that they may get a better price. Appropriate sector policy and regulatory body, it is very important, and it will very much required. Improve, whenever we talk about that improving farmers income, as per the 59th and 70th round of national sample survey organization, there's a 2 point of time data is available 2003 and 2013, and there are sources of income: cultivation, wage earning, non-farm income, and the animal husbandry. If you see that the last column, the compound annual growth rate, it's a 23.72% growth has been recorded between the 2003 and 2013 in animal husbandry sector. So this animal husbandry sources are really playing a very important role, and the growth trends over the last decade indicate that the higher growth can come from horticulture, dairy, livestock, and fishing related to field crops. The broad approach towards the vision of the doubling farmers' income by the year 2022 would be that by increasing the net income from each unit of farm, by reducing the cost of cultivation, increasing per unit of yield, and ensuring higher market return on the farmers' produce. In goat farmers' income, we see that there is I have given in three different scenario. It's a present status, business as usual, what do we call it, under extensive management system. With in the second scenario is with some improved practices, and the third one is the with improved practices plus smart marketing. Smart marketing is very important. So the present status that the income per goat per year is about 3,200 rupees, and with some little intervention on nutrition, health, and the management, the income per adult goat per year improved to 4,800 rupees. It is 1.5 times, 1.5 times more than that the present status or business as usual. And with improved practices in smart marketing, the goat farmers rearing, they can earn or fetch at the tune of 6,500 rupees per adult goat per year. That's a double of extensive management system. So by doubling farmers' income per goat per year, at average, I am talking about the average rearing household income, the share of the goat rearing to the household income may increase from 15 to 35 to 40%. This is one study. In this paper, we have tried to work out what are the ex ante assessment of the different technologies, or you can say that the best practices. So there is a scope to harness more benefit from the goat in short run. So there you can see in this table, this all exercise is based on the 2012 goat population, and in this table we have given four important interventions: breeding, disease management, nutrition intervention, and marketing. Marketing in the sense that the commercial age, sale of the animals at commercial age. So we can see that in first column, gross gain. The second column is cost of intervention, and the third column is net gain. and the last column is gross gain to cost ratio. So in every intervention, you can see that breeding to the gross gain to cost ratio is coming 2.38, but in the case of disease management, it is coming 3.56. In nutrition intervention, 1.45, marketing at commercial age, it is also 1.87. But among all these four type of interventions or good practices, we can see that the disease management is very, very important. It is just because of that the cost of intervention is very low. You can see that 6,758 million rupees. It is a cost of intervention, and gross gain to cost ratio is coming the 3.56. This is because of that cost of intervention is low. In other case, that nutrition intervention is also 1.45 gross gain to cost ratio, but the cost of the intervention is very high. It's 29,651. All the interventions, if we are going for all the intervention, the ex ante assessment of these net economic gain from proposed technical intervention in goat production, we can say that the benefit cost ratios are 1.95. It is a if we work out in terms of the value, so equivalent, it is equivalent to 1.24% of total value of output at current prices from livestock sector, and 14.74% of the total value output from the goat sector for the year 2012. So this table shows that the economic importance, the value, or we can say that the economic importance of the interventions, it is a breeding, it's a disease management, it's a nutrition intervention. Definitely they can improve the income or they can double the income of the farmer. The economics of goat rearing, in this slide, I have given a small model of economics of goat rearing. Approximate medium size of goat breed, 50+2 model is there under semi-intensive management system, and we can suggest many of the unemployed youth. We can see that they are not retaining in not in crop production, not in animal husbandry also. After clearing their high school or intermediate, they are just running to that nearby of their some metros or big cities. They want to work there only, but they don't want to stay in animal husbandry practices or some crop production. So this model, giving a small investment idea, if you see that in the fixed cost, it is a 4.61 lakh rupees. It includes the construction of the shed, animals and equipment, depreciation, interest on the capital cost. The recurring cost is 1.67 lakh rupees, which include the feed for adult and kids, veterinary cost, and labor cost. If you see that the return, the net income is 2,64,000 rupees, and net income per month is coming around 21,983 rupees or 22,000 rupees. At net income per goat is coming 5,276 rupees. This is actually average. It's not a very you cannot. This is the average income per goat. But some of the animals will sold at the good prices, and the farmer will get a better price for those animals, and this income may improve to up to 6,000 rupees or 6,500 rupees. So this model tells about that unemployed youth may start goat rearing with a unit of 50 goats and adopt scientific practices. He may earn net income of around 2.64 lakh rupees annually, and per goat near about 5,300 rupees. I have also given that meat goat. It's 8,000 to 8,500 rupees. The meat goat farming is also taking place. It's also getting popularized in our country. Under intensive management system, people are keeping the meat goat only, and they are buying the kits at the rate of 2,000 rupees or 2,500 rupees at the age of 3 or 4 months. They are keeping these animals up to 14 to 15 months at their farm, and I have also calculated the economics of that the expenditure which is coming on that per kid per month. It is coming around 530 rupees or 540 rupees, which include labor, feed, and veterinary care also. If they are keeping up to that 14 months, so you can multiply 14 with the 500 rupees, it will come around 1,000 rupee or 7,500, and you add 2,000 or 2,500 rupees as a cost of that kid, purchase price of the kid. So it will be around 10,000 rupee total investment at the span of the time of 14 months or 15 months. If these farmers are interested, they are always trying to target a festive season, especially during they want to sell these animals during Eid. And during Eid, the sale price of the goat in nearby area of our institute, Agra or some other big cities, it is around 400 to 450 rupees per kg of live weight. And with this management system, and if he is spending that 500 rupees per month on these kits, the weight of these kits will be reach around 40 to 45 kg, or in some cases they cross the 50 kg also. So if you calculate it, 450 rupees per kg of live weight, and the animal reached at 40 kg or 45 kg. So multiply it, it's around 20,000 rupee, and you just deduct it to 10,000 rupee as a cost of production. So per kid will give you around 8 to 10,000 rupee with within the 14 to 15 months. Trainees, or you can say the entrepreneurs, are going for the breeding farm, but they are also large number of these farmers are going for the meat production, and they are running this kind of goat farms. And this is the goat value chain. You can see that there's a large number of middlemen are involved. There's a goat farmer to village market, and from village market to itinerant traders are working, playing a very important role. All this goat value chain, and these itinerant traders are buying the animals from the villages, and they are selling it to the district or city market, and the city market, it is reaching to the terminal market and then going to the processing unit. And butcher is also playing a very important role, and they're fetching a very good price. You can see in the next slide. And in this entire goat value chain, you can see that the import and service provider, veterinary department, and feed manufacturers, paravets, they are also uh, providing that support. This is the value chain mapping, the how that goats are reaching from the goat farmers to that ultimate consumer. And this 18 traders, wholesale traders, they are incurring some marketing cost and getting the profit or margins. So in the case of this, if you see that the read or analyze the value chain map or mapping, you will find that the business markup depends on the volume of trade. Animal is moving, and the 18 traders, wholesale traders, these are all people are which are playing with a short margins, but the large number of goats they are buying and selling, so that if you multiply the magnitude of that will be in a big come in a big figures. And it is true that many studies are also available that farmer share in consumer rupees 73% higher than the agriculture commodities in goat. There are some other emerging value chains. NutraGoat is a pasteurized goat milk. It's a Haryana-based company. There are many companies are also playing an important role. They're running a very good business. Brown Apron, it's an online fresh meat shop, Bengaluru-based. Shevan Agro Private Limited, it's focusing on goat meat segment, supplying to supermarkets, Mumbai-based companies. This is a Mumbai-based company. And Vistara Farms Private Limited, it's a Bengaluru, Karnataka based company. And it is they are also dealing in a fresh goat milk, goat curd, goat cheese, and goat yogurt. These Mr. Krishna is in touch with us, and he is keeping around 300 to 350 beetle goats. And they have also developed a very good backward linkages with the farmers. They have just identified the farmers who are keeping 10 goats, 20 goats, or 50 goats, and they just registered them, and they are providing that some technical support to these farmers, and they have developed a very good petro-client relationship between these farmers. and they are buying the milks from these farmers at the rate of 80 rupees per liter and selling and through their retail outlet counters they have started in Bangalore. So this is a very good example of backward linkages and forward linkages by the Vistara Farms Private Limited. Goat milk market. It's a huge rising demand for the cosmetic industry. Also, lotions, soaps, cream, cleaners is also coming in emerging market value chain. Goat milk entrepreneurs in our country. Katori Fresh is a Manjari Foundation in Dholpur, Rajasthan. They are focusing on goat milk, ghee, and butter. It's a women-based all this self-help groups and farmer producer organizations, and they are also running a very good market or business or value chain in that area. Vistara Farms Private Limited, I just narrated, Bangalore-based company, and they're also selling a very good goat and goat milk and products. There is a entrepreneurship development in goat farming at ICRC ARG. I will give you some glimpses of the success stories of some of the farmers. Before going for that success story, you can see that how the trend is changing in farm community, especially for the goat production. You see that education level of the participants, more than 60% are graduate and above. We are organizing training program, and the last 10 years data we have analyzed, and we are seeing this kind of pattern or change. People were telling that the goat farming is associated with the lower strata of the people or some social class, but there's a what we are seeing is that graduate, postgraduates, even some of the IT professionals, some BTechs students, or they're working with the multinational. They want to start their own business. They are coming to us and they want to learn the goat farming. So the future of the goat farming or the sector is very very bright. What we can say, and that's you can see that the age of the participants. It's also a symbol of that. It's also indicating that what kind of people are coming. More than 70% training belong to age group of 30 to 40. So there are more entrepreneurs. So you can say that they are having a more risk-bearing ability and having a very great understanding on this business. These are some success stories. This is a SR commercial goat farm. This farm is situated in Sirsa, Haryana. Mr. Sandeep Singh and Mr. Rajpreet Singh, these two guys are the MSc agriculture is postgraduate, and they have started their goat farm with the 20 goats, Beetle and Shiroi. Now they are running a very good goat farm in Sirsa. Simultaneously, they are also providing the training programs to the farmers, and they are also supplying goats to the other country. Also, they're supporting the goats. He's a Mohammad Rashid. He's the 60th batch of National Training Program. He passed from the CARG in 2013. He is also starting with only 12 goats of Barbary breed. Now, anyone who are around the Mathura or some in UP can visit his farm, and he can see that the quality of the animals he is rearing, and very good economics is coming, very good income he is generating, selling animals at the rate of 18,000 to 28,000 rupee per animal. So this is the sale price of his goat. You can see that beautiful animals with the shining of the goats on their goat shining, and he is focusing only and only in Barbary goats. So this is a very what we can say breed specific farm. Mr. B.D. Kushwa, he's a Himani. He's having a Himani goat breeding farm in Uttarakhand, in Dehradun, and he has also started. He's a retired district horticulture officer. He is running a goat farm with the Jamnapari and beetle goats, and also growing high yielding varieties of tomato and broccoli during the winter, and bitter gourd during the summer. And he's having only half biga of land. On this land, he's earning almost 2 lakh rupees from horticulture crop, and he's selling the milk of these goats at the rate of 150 rupees per liter to the hospitals in Dehradun. This is Mr. Kalyan Kohli, is the 52nd National Training Program. He completed this training program in 2012. He's a young guy, 36 years of age. IEPEN Animal Biocare Private Limited. The people who are from Bengal, they may be knowing this fellow. He's very popular. Sanjeevani Kamal is the name of that farm. He is actually working on that the Black Bengal diluted liquid semen now, and maintaining 63 Black Bengal bucks with recurring expenses of 4.5 lakh, feed, veterinary care, labor, etc., and producing 2,000 semen doses per buck per year, and at the cost of 7 rupee per dose, and selling at the rate of 15 rupees per dose. He is also providing the training program, and he is working with the collaboration of NDRI Kalyani and CIRG Magdoom. He has recently he got one technology, received technology from the CIRG, and getting very popular, and got prizes or some solicitation from the IIM Calcutta or some other contests and universities and institutions. These are some mobile applications developed at ICRCIRG: Bakri Mitra, Bakri Palan, goat production, and goat products. Apart from these two more apps have been developed on artificial insemination also. So it is these all apps are available at the Play Store, so one can download and use the information. All the important aspect of the goat farming, including starting from the breeding to marketing of the goats. These all points have been covered in this mobile app. When we are talking about the transformation of the goat sector, there's a need to productivity enhancement, intensification of goat production for the smallholders. As we are talking about that, the production system is gradually shifting from the extensive to semi-intensive. Attracting and retaining youth in the goat production is very, very important. It's very much required because of that. The young guys are leaving the villages. If you visit in Bundelkhand, you will find that there is a migration is almost reaching up to 35 to 40%. So how to retain these farmers? I have shown you in one of my slide that small 50 goat model, 50 plus 2, so that these young guys can start their goat farm. They can stay in their villages with the pride, and they can run a business. Women empowerment is very, very important, and now it's taking place, transforming. Women are main custodian of the goats, and they are also getting importance, and they are also playing an important role, and not only in the production of the goat, the goat management practices, but also they are getting share in marketing of the goats. Whatever prices are they fetching, they're using these money for their family welfare. Sustainable use of the natural resources and their management. I just covered in my previous slide that the sustainable use is very, very important. Natural resources are shrinking. Permanent pastures, grazing lands are shrinking. Even water bodies are sinking. So how can we use these natural resources sustainably so they can be available for our coming generation? Low cost technology for the processing of goat products and develop market linkages. These are very, very important. Market linkages are very important because of most of the cases the goats are being sold by the farmers, or we call it the distress sale. They are very much need of money. They are selling their goats at the rate of 150 to 170 rupees per kg of live weight, and the market price is very, very high, much more higher than whatever prices they are getting. In one of the study, I found that the farmers are getting almost 30 to 40% lesser price what they are expecting from their goat. Capacity building on the improved practices. At CIRG, we are organizing training programs, national training programs, sponsored training programs, and some specialized training programs on artificial insemination, value addition of goat milk and meat. So these training programs are also being run by the state animal husbandry departments and some other organization. As I shown in my previous slides, that these goat farmers who have trained from the CIRG, they are also started. They have also started their training centers, small training centers, and multiplying these knowledge to the farmers and reaching to the farmers one and another way. So, strengthen goat farmers through SHGs, cooperatives, producers companies. This is very, very important to provide a support to the farmers through self-help groups or cooperatives. Even one of the very important observation that one new term we are listening nowadays, that goat bank. So goat bank can also be started through this cooperatives or the producers companies. Uh, if there are 100 goat farmers and they are in some FPO or some goat farming, so uh, they can also start a goat bank and they can sell their animals at better prices by through grading, through discovering the better buyers. Institutional support for credit and insurance, it is very important, because if somebody is interested, if a farmer is interested to start a goat farm with the 100 plus 5 unit, or what we call it, like a commercial goat unit, he has to have around 16 to 17 lakh rupees in first year, which includes the recurring cost, also 1 year recurring cost. So farmers are not in a position to invest this much of amount. So in this at this point, the institutional support is very much required. Although there are some programs, there are some schemes with the NABARD and National Bank of Agriculture and Rural Development. They are also supporting these entrepreneurs of the farmers. But the number of schemes, number of that units they are providing are not as whatever is in demand, how much is required, and the schemes they come with is is only 10 lakh rupees for 100 goats. It is not possible in 10 lakh rupees. So this kind of institutional support and credit insurance is very much required.